we have Cristian Quinonez versus Raoni Barcelos. Quinonez 18-4, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off of that submission loss to Kang Ho Kang. Raoni Barcelos 17-5, 1-4 in his last 5, coming off that decision loss to Kyler Phillips. Odds for this fight right now, we have Raoni Barcelos at a -200. So pretty interesting line movement there. Alex, what do you think about Quinonez versus Barcelos here?
So I think this is a very tough fight to call. Barcelos is getting up there in age while Quinonez is just entering his prime. Um, One thing though, I was very, very surprised with the line movement on the over/under. So before looking at the lines, when I was watching tape, in my head, I was like, okay, I really like the over here. Let me go check out what the over/under is. To my surprise, the line opened up at -200 for the over 2.5, but it's now plus 115. So I'm just very surprised. That looks like amazing value to me, but like I don't know if someone knows something. Like that just it's like a big red flag. So um in terms of picking a side, I don't really have a good read on this fight. It just seems like it'll end up being a sweaty split decision of some kind. In both of Quinonez's UFC fights, it's important to note that he has never gone past the first round. So really not 100% sure how his cardio is going to hold up. But I mean, looking at his fighting style, I don't think he exerts that much energy. But one thing to note is he has been training in Mexico City for 6 weeks. And Barcelos, on the other hand, although he is getting up there in age and he did just arrive this past week, he hasn't really shown that much cardio issues in his past fights. So that's why I like the over. But we'll see if we play it or not.
Yeah, I have very similar thoughts to you on this fight, Alex. I mean, I think Quinonez, all offense fighter, really loves to brawl and attack subs on the ground. So this guy just likes to get finishes, whether he gets finishes himself or he gets finished. I think that he likes to move forward a lot as well. He does favor submission over position, and he has an 85% takedown defense, but those are mainly just takedown stuffs from a Dana White Contender Series fight. He seems to have average takedown defense based on his other few fights. As you mentioned, he's been in Mexico for 6 weeks, so he should be more than capable in terms of the cardio, whatever he had before. Barcelos, all-around veteran, very high-level wrestling pedigree and good Muay Thai stand-up. Going back to his wrestling, I mean, this guy's a decorated Brazilian wrestler, good takedowns, uses technique on the entries, scrambles well, transitions well. He also has a 90% takedown defense, so he's very hard to take this guy down. His jiu-jitsu skills are pretty good. He has a black belt, but he only has one sub win in the UFC and 2 sub wins in his career. I think that Barcelos, his striking is also pretty decent as well. I think that he has really powerful Muay Thai shots, good combos, a snappy leg kick. Barcelos arrived to Mexico about 3 days ago, so who knows if he'll be ready for the altitude. I lean towards yes because this guy's just a veteran. He's been fighting for a long time. He kind of knows his body, so I'm going to trust that he knows what he's doing. I do believe that Barcelos will stay smart on the feet and just look to work in his wrestling to control Quinonez on the ground for the majority of the fight. He may gas out later in the fight due to his age and just not being acclimated to the altitude. However, I do trust Barcelos to just fight cleaner and have an edge in grappling compared to Quinonez's brawling kind of style. So pick here is going to be Barcelos via decision. Like you, I see potential value in the over 2.5. It's plus 115 right now, open at -200. I think especially both of these men will fight a bit more cautiously. Quinonez after he was finishing round 1 in his last fight, and Barcelos potentially with a deteriorated chin. So he might be trying to protect that chin with some grappling exchanges. So pick here is Barcelos by decision, but yeah, I think the over 2.5 could look good, although does seem very trappy because maybe we're missing something and we put in a bet at plus odds and then that goes in the tank mainly because I'm witnessing. I'm kind of envisioning that Barcelos is going to get KO'd or something, like kind of like how Marco Manson got KO'd. So that could be something that we might stay away from later. But for now, I think that is potential good value.